everyone for doing all this, by the way, before we start. Thanks everyone. Let's all break a leg. Let us know, Ed. I have actually, Mark, can you make sure there's... Hi there, and welcome to Pitch New Jersey 2021. This will be a fantastic event, trust me. So much support from the community, including our sponsors that are listed below. We're just going to kick this thing off. So here's the agenda. Right now we're in the updates and announcements, as if you didn't know, and then we'll go into pitches. There'll be a little bit of a bio break at 5:50, and then we'll go into round 2 of pitching. From 7 to 7:15, we'll do the judging, and at 7:15, the judges will be announced. That is, of course, if we stay on track with our timing, and we're going to try. Okay, so just a little housekeeping. Here's your Morris Meetup organizers. There's Mark Baskin, who's actually in the room with me here. Nancy Rago, who's on our Zoom call and has sent all sorts of communication about this event. Thanks so much, Nancy. That's me in the third slot there. And Mark Annette is another one of our organizers. If you haven't done so already, please join our meetup group at meetup.com/Morris-meetup. We'd love to have you as a member. And then there's our Business Bootcamp organizers, Ashi Taylor and Jill Badia, and they're just fantastic. They've actually done most of the work for this event. So Ashi and Jill, do you want to say a little something about your experiences with this event and what Business Bootcamp is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, John. And thank you all for coming here today, for the sponsors, for the organizers, and for all the contestants as well. And like John mentioned, my name is Ashi.
And I'm Jill.
And we are the co-CEOs of Business Bootcamp, which is a student-led nonprofit that provides free business and career-based education for youth. And we also try to inspire an entrepreneurial spirit within our community.
So since our conception 4 years ago, we're incredibly grateful to have hosted and run over 45 workshops for middle and high school students across the globe on subjects ranging from personal finance to public speaking and professional development.
And we also publish free content and resources online in the case that you want to learn, but you can't attend any of our workshops or summer programs.
So this is Business Bootcamp's 3rd year co-hosting PitchNJ, and each year we've seen the event become more of a success, and you guys constantly amaze us with your ideas and initiative.
So once again, thank you all for being here. And if you're interested in our initiatives or just want to visit our website to sign yourself up or sign somebody else you know up for our workshops or just explore some of our student developed content, you can go visit us at businessbootcamp101.org. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at businessbootcamp101.
And best of luck, presenters. We can't wait to see what you guys have in store for us today.
All right, that's great. So as you'll see throughout this event, the kids are actually the best presenters, and Jill and Ashi are amazing. So thanks so much, Jill and Ashi, and thanks. They really did all the work for this. So anyway, wouldn't be here without them. And then we're co-hosting this, obviously, with the Morris Tech Meetup and the Morris County Economic Development Corporation, as well as Business Bootcamp, are co-hosting this event. And Megan and Ed are on from the Morris County Economic Development Corporation, and Megan Huncher, who is the CEO of Morris County Chamber and the president, as well as the president and CEO of the MCEDC as well. So she's got a lot of titles there. Megan, do you want to say a little something?
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We're so excited to have you. And thank you all for joining us virtually this year. Hopefully in 2022, we'll be back in person, and nothing beats the energy of a pitch competition in person. So we really appreciate all of your participation, and it's incredible that we had over 50 applicants this year and 12 finalists, and 10 will be presenting today. As John said, we're always impressed with you, the students. You are our inspiration, you are our future. And we're so glad that you could compete today. Thank you to Ashi and Jill for all their incredible hard work. They're going to be a tough act to follow for sure. They've done an incredible job this year. And of course, we couldn't do it without our sponsors. So we're so grateful for all of our sponsors who could underwrite the cost of the event and provide the awards today for all of our finalists. So we're just so grateful for West Morris Capital and Fortis Agency and Gearhart Law and Lakeland Bank. We're so grateful, and thank you to Tom Bergeron of ROI&J for also joining us as a judge today. So thank you all for being with us, and I'll turn it over to Ed to say a few words as well. Ed?
Were you ready for that, Ed?
Yeah, I'm up and running, trying to work the controls here, but we're excited about PitchNJ 2021. We want to thank everybody for all the work, all the effort, all the dedication. We want to thank our sponsors. And on behalf of the Economic Development Corporation, we just want to say thank you. And I believe we're in for a great presentation tonight.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Megan and Ed. All right, so speaking about our sponsors, our platinum sponsor tonight is West Morris Capital, and Chris Murphy from West Morris Capital is here to tell us a little about what they do. And they underwrote a great deal of the cost for this event, and we're very appreciative to West Morris. And Chris, do you want to say a little something about Chris, do you want to say a little something about West Morris Capital?
Sure I will. Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Like John said, my name is Chris Murphy. I am the president and only employee at West Morris Capital. There's a good chance you have not heard of West Morris Capital because we're pretty new and we really haven't done much yet, but we have big plans and we have the backing of a very savvy investor. Our mission is straightforward. Our mission is to make investments that improve the economy of Western Morris County. So far, we've made some real estate investments, including a building in Dover that we are currently renovating. But we are also interested in ways to support entrepreneurs and small businesses, hence our support for tonight's program. Maybe one day we'll be making an investment in one of tonight's teams, or maybe they'll consider taking up offices in one of our buildings. Personally, I'd like to thank the organizers of this great event. Even more, I'd like to congratulate each of the teams up front. When I was in high school, I was thinking a lot less about creating businesses and more about going to the mall and checking out the latest Duran Duran CD at the record store. and look, none of those things even exist anymore, except maybe Duran Duran, I don't know. But I did grow up in a household where my father was an entrepreneur. So I appreciate the challenges and the benefits of the entrepreneurial mindset. And regardless of what happens tonight, I encourage all of the contestants to continue thinking that way. Good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Great. We really do appreciate your support, Chris and West Morris. And one thing I'll say, I know a little bit about West Morris, and it's definitely a socially responsible endeavor, and they're looking to help the entrepreneurial community here in Morris, New Jersey, which is kind of what the tech meetup's all about, as well as the MCEDC. So we're definitely aligned. Okay, great. So thank you also to our bronze sponsors, which are the Fortis Agency and Lakeland Bank. Does Marcella from Lakeland, do you want to pop in and say a little something?
I have to take myself off mute. I'm having technological difficulties here, so I apologize for that. But my name is Marcella, and I'm manager on client engagement for Lakeland Bank. And I will tell you, Lakeland Bank is always in support of the youth. We have our scholarship golf outing, which is an annual event every year through our foundation. So we were very excited to be part of this today. To be part of the competition for the youth of this country. It's great to be part of the new up and coming leadership. So happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. And then the Fortis agency, I believe that's Christine Cox West. Do you want to
Yes,
say a
hi,
quick
thank you.
something?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Christine Cox West. I'm one of the founding partners of the Fortis Agency. We only started to open our doors about 2 years ago, although we've all been in the business a while. We're a financial services and wealth management firm, but we were a little crazy when we came up with our idea, and it's worked beautifully. And we're located in Bellworks down in Holmdel, New Jersey. So if you know anything about Bellworks, talk about where a patent a day used to come out of Bell Labs. It's a really, really incredible space that I encourage you all to visit. Best of luck to everyone out there, and I hope you all enjoyed tonight.
Awesome, thanks so much. And then there's Gerhardt Law and Passage to Profit. So I'll review the awards in a little bit, but our first, second, and third place prizes actually get a spot on a radio show and podcast called Passage to Profit, thanks to Gerhardt Law and Passage to Profit, as well as Elizabeth Gerhardt, who's on as well. Elizabeth, do you have something to say?
I always have something to say. I think this is awesome. Thank you guys for doing this. At Gerhardt Law, we service mainly entrepreneurs with patents, trademarks, copyrights, and we've added litigation now too. And we just think that entrepreneurism is so important for our economy, for our world, because we have clients all over the world. And we love the fact that young people are getting into entrepreneurism because it really can make a difference in the world. So thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for doing this. I've been on the radio show, and I have to say, like you, Elizabeth, kind of takes on a different personality in the radio show. It's really fun. It's a total blast. So if you're not listening, it's actually on. It's on 710, right? You should have given the time, but it's also on iHeartRadio, and you can listen to the past shows and everything if you look it up. So thanks for offering this fantastic prize, Elizabeth. So there's also some other sponsors. And then one that was a late sponsor is Tom Bergeron from ROINJ.net. Tom, you don't have to say anything, but if you want to pop in and say something, please do.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity. Tom Bergeron from ROI.com. We're a website. We're also a print publication. We're essentially a business journal. We are entrepreneurs ourselves. We broke away from NJ Biz about 3.5 years ago and started our own publication. So we're thrilled to be here and thrilled to be helping out with an event like this. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for your support. So all the sponsors are on the slide here now. And obviously, Morris County Economic Development Corporation. We usually have this event at Fairleigh Dickinson, but obviously due to current circumstances, we are not there. But thank you to Fairleigh Dickinson, as well as Business Boot Camp. And New Jersey Tech Weekly will cover this event, which is a great little publication on everything tech in New Jersey. And then Tech Launch is a great supporter as well. So, so let's get into the judges. So Ashi and Jill, who you've met from Business Bootcamp, are two of our judges, and they'll also be introducing the teams. And then the sponsor community judges are Ed Ramirez, who's also kind of on the controls. So Ed, if we like screw anything up, you know, I'm just going to blame you, okay? And Marcella Giancarelli, which I should be able to say with a name like Carini, who's Vice President Manager of Engagement at Lakeland, is also one of our judges. That's me, John Carini. I'm an entrepreneur as well. And I guess my claim to fame is I've been an entrepreneur for more than 25 years at this point, and haven't had a real job in a long time. And Elizabeth Gerhardt, who you just heard from, running Passage to Profit radio show, so she should know something about startups. And Tom Bergeron, who is founder and owner of ROI New Jersey, is also one of our judges. So those are your judges. And here are the prizes. So first place, thanks to West Morris Capital and the other sponsors, is $1,500. Second place is $1,000, and third place is $500. All first, second, and third place will appear on the Passage to Profit radio show as well. And then it's always so hard to make up our minds because there's so many great teams. There's also honorable mentions, two of them at $250 each. So thanks so much to our sponsors for making this possible. And by the way, as Megan said, this event is really starting to take off. The schools actually have us in their curriculum now, thanks to Ashi and Jill, I believe. And I think that we'll see many more years of fantastic PitchNJ events, thanks to the groundwork that's been laid here. Just as an FYI, this is our third one and by far our biggest. So we're really moving along. In terms of the order of pitches, there'll be 5 pitches in round 1, and they're on your screen. So so kids and parents take note of that. And then there'll be a 10-minute break and a second round. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen, and Ashi and Jill will introduce the first pitch, and we'll get rolling. Break a leg, everyone.
Great, thanks, John. Again, we are so excited to hear your pitches and good luck to everyone. So as of now, the shoe shed is up and Weasel is on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. You guys can hear and see me, right? Okay. Hello, my name is Justin Wentnick, and I'm founder of The Shoe Shed. I play soccer 5 days a week in weather conditions from pouring rain to 95-degree heat. Because of this, my cleats absolutely stink. They stink to the point where I have to triple bag my cleats just so we can drive home from my games. Because of this horrific scent, storing my cleats inside my house is not an option. I ultimately have to decide between keeping my shoes in the garage, which then stinks up the garage, or keeping my shoes on my front step, where I have to constantly bring my cleats inside and outside depending on if it's raining or not. Personally, I choose to store my cleats outside, which, because I often forget about them, leads to me having to play with rain-soaked cleats, which is no fun. Having played soccer for 7 years of my life, I know this problem is true for many other youth athletes. This is where the Shoe Shed was born. Essentially, it is an outdoor storage unit that keeps smelly shoes out of the house and protected from the weather. It is an elevated, ventilated, weatherproof shoe storage unit meant to be kept on the side of your house. The unit is a plastic box with a rack in the middle of the unit, a door to close the unit, which isn't included in any of the images for visualization purposes, weighted legs to keep the unit stationary, 2 ventilation strips, which provide basic air circulation on the back of the unit, and a ledge to prevent water from entering in through the ventilation strips. More specifically, I'm going to manufacture the unit at a rotational molding facility, and I'm going to manufacture it out of polyethylene plastic, which is a strong weatherproof plastic. The target market is people who have smelly shoes and do not have the proper place to store them. I am aiming for people who either don't own garages or own detached garages. Moreover, my target market is people who are currently leaving their smelly shoes outside of their house and, like me, are going through the struggle of bringing their shoes inside and outside depending on the weather. So the main competitors in this space are storage units and shoe deodorizers. Speaking on the storage units, the Shoe Shed is different from the rack on the left because it actually protects the shoes from the weather, which is crucial for expensive athletic footwear. Compared to the unit on the right, the Shoe Shed is different because it is marketed differently. The Shoe Shed is an athlete storage unit. It is meant to be sold at athletic events, and it is something that an athlete would be proud to own. The Shoe Shed is also smaller than almost every other unit on the market. It stores only 2 pairs of shoes because smelly shoes cause odor to spread to any objects stored near them. For the charcoal packs and sneaker balls, my teammates and I have found that these devices are simply no match to our shoes, which are sweated in 4, 5, 6 days a week. While they may prevent the scent for some people, others are left with smelly shoes and no place to store them, which is where the Shoe Shed comes in. The main part of my marketing strategy will be holding booths weekly at athletic events because everyone there is a potential customer. I will also utilize social media marketing, and I plan on partnering with youth athletic clubs with the ultimate goal of becoming a nationwide brand. The main platforms I will use to sell the unit are the Shoe Shed website, Amazon, and in person every single weekend. I plan on selling each unit at a $50 price point to start. Throughout this process, I plan on tracking key performance indicators such as sales, solicited and unsolicited feedback, and also social media and website analytics. So I have been in communication with Sterling Rotational Molding based out of Lake City, Pennsylvania, and I received a quote for around $6,500 upfront for both tools in the mold and an additional $35 per unit for the first 1,000 units. With scale, the representative believes the price can drop to the mid-20s depending on how the product evolves. Additionally, I have been looking to manufacture in China to hopefully manufacture the first batch for the mid-teens, low 20s, so now ultimately I can lower my price point. All in, I estimate that producing the first 1,000 units of the Shoe Shed will cost around $46,500. Thank you.
All right, that was awesome. Yeah, as we said before, these kids are definitely the stars of this. So the judges now can ask a few questions, but we have to keep it short because, you know, as everyone knows on these virtual events, we can't go super long. But so my only question is, if it was like a cold day and you got your shoes out of the shoe shed, would it, you know, wouldn't your feet be cold? Is there any like solution you have for that problem?
So, like I said, my sort of niche is the people that are leaving their shoes currently outside and are having to go through the struggle of bringing their shoes inside and outside. So there are a ton of people that are just leaving their shoes outside in the cold to begin with. So this is sort of just protecting the shoes in case it rains, in case it snows. So that's more of the point of it. Of course, we can look into that in the future, but that's not really something I think this product needs to cover.
Yeah. What about just like a way to plug it in outside and make it stay like a little warm? Could even put a fan in then too.
Yeah, I could. That's more complicated, more expensive to manufacture, all that.
Okay, cool. Oh, I loved it though. Any of the other judges want to chime in and ask a question or two?
I wanted to ask, how about the size of the shoe? Is it just for low top shoes, sneakers? Can you also have a model for boots?
Sure. So right now I do have it designed just for low top sneakers, as you said. So this is your cleats, your running shoes, all of that. Eventually I do plan on scaling it to do, right now it's a 2-shoe model. Eventually I want to do a 4-shoe and a 6-shoe model. Then also I will consider doing boots if I see that that's the feedback I'm receiving.
Thank you.
Ed, you've never met Ed, but he has really big feet, so that's why he's asking. Sorry, I had to do that. It was too easy. Any other judges have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question real quick, and I have 5 children, so I get this issue. I get the protection of the shoe. Are you doing anything with the next morning that's going to make necessarily the shoe smell better, so to speak, other than just it didn't make the house smell worse?
So it just didn't make the house smell worse. That's the point of the unit, because I mean, I know from my experience and talking to a ton of other youth athletes, it's a big problem. The cleats stink. I mean, you have 5 children, you would know that. So it's just being able to leave it outside and having that alternative to not have to worry about bringing them inside and outside. So no, to answer your question, it doesn't.
I would think the outside air would just do that. But anyway, anybody else want to pop in? I thought it was awesome though. I have kids too, and their shoes are outside. So way to go.
I just have one real quick question.
Please,
so,
and then you can do the next one.
Sounds good. So how do you plan on differentiating yourself, or how do you plan on attracting people who prefer using shoe deodorizers or other forms of cleaning their shoes up?
Sure. So, I mean, ultimately, that's not my direct target market, right? I've said before, it's people that are leaving their shoes outside is my target market. But if people are having success with the methods they're using, then yes, go with that. That's fine. But I mean, I know from my experience and talking to other athletes, like I've said, both at club, high school, sisters, friends, all the works, that this is a problem, that people leave their shoes outside and have soaked shoes. So like there is that disconnect, because shooty odorizers they work for some people, but for others with smelly feet don't work great.
All right. Thanks so much. Jill and Ashi, do you want to introduce the next team? That was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, Justin. So the next team up is Weasel and Fetch by Maya. You are on deck.
Cameras on yet?
Nearly every single country in the world has SMS infrastructure. Everyone has used the SMS network if you've ever sent a text message. This is a problem because it's extremely insecure. Everyone from government agencies to individual hackers can see who you're texting and what you're texting. That's why the four of us are working together. I'm Frank Gomes.
I'm Connor McDermott.
I'm Tejas Mehta.
And I'm Mary Singh.
I think you're muted.
Weasel is a drop-in SMS enhancement focused entirely on user security and privacy. Weasel has been built to secure communications between senders and recipients and utilizes the SMS protocol over the SMS-MMS network for low latency communication with a very low network toll. Weasel's entirely focused on privacy, and its focus is seen through its feature set. Its feature set contains hardened military-grade encryption, disposable rotatable phone numbers, and verifiable messages. These three features work in conjunction to enhance your privacy experience and make sure that your message is seen solely by the intended recipient and deterred by any prying eyes. Your recipient also will be able to make sure that that message is from you. Under the hood, Weasel features dual-layer military-grade encryption using the two algorithms listed on the slide. Weasel's custom
Slide hasn't changed.
Weasel's custom encryption implementation inherently allows for burnable messages, where a message can expire after an allotted time period, which is usable especially for one-time passwords and any other sensitive information. Weasel also protects against SIM swapping, SMS snooping, as well as fraud and identity theft.
Slides aren't changing.
Is everybody unable to see the slides changing?
Yeah, it's not working.
The slides are not changing.
Oh, they're changing.
Okay, you're on the privacy slide still.
Oh, see, it's changing on my end.
Fantastic Zoom.
Stop sharing and share again.
Yes. Are you able to see anything now?
It just says your name and you've started screen sharing.
Okay. I'm really sorry about this. I don't know why the Zoom is acting up for me.
That's all right. Can we move on to the demonstration?
Yes, I'm unable to share it, however, so.
Fantastic.
Is anyone else able to screen share instead?
Demonstrations based on the laptop that's running, so. Mary, are you able to share the present?
Yeah, I can share the presentation. If you want to hold the other things.
Yes, I will do that.
We apologize for technical difficulties.
We're not sure.
That's okay. Do you want to forward it to Ed? Ed, you want to run it?
We have somebody else is going to start sharing right now. Or
Sure, whatever you guys need. Have you tried to share again? You know what? Let me do something for you. Try sharing it now.
All right. You guys able to see anything? Do you mind if I hop off the call and come back on? Maybe it'll fix things.
We should just forward it.
Yeah, do whatever you have to do.
I think it's probably easier if they just email it to you, Ed, and you just share it.
We have a demonstration locally, so we won't be able to show that in that case.
Do you guys want to just do it again? Go at the end of round one again? Like, how about we do that?
I think that's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're very sorry
Okay,
about that.
let's do that. No
We're
worries.
terribly sorry.
You know, this is
And
like,
if you
Yeah,
want to
no
log
worries at all.
out and log back in, just do that. So it
yeah,
can
everybody
reset your
log out
computer.
and back in, and we'll just go to the next one, and then you guys come in at the end. And this is 2021. Don't worry about it. This is this is the way it works these days. It's no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No worries.
All right.
All right.
Try
So
and log out and log in again, and then.
okay, if you guys do that, and then let's get the next one up.
All right, so the next team is going to be Fetched by Maya, and Mentverse is on deck.
Hi, give me a second. So can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so hi, I'm Maya. I'm in 6th grade. I go to Black River Middle School in Chester, New Jersey, and my company is Fetch. So the problem is that a lot of dog treats are unhealthy. Most of them smell horrible, and have no health benefits for dogs. So, and they also have a lot of long-term problems like cancer, obesity, kidney disease, diabetes, seizure, and organ damage. So, Fetch is an organic, gluten-free, vegan treat made of human-grade ingredients. It's gluten-free using almond flour and rolled oats. It's mixed with coconut oil and infused with spices, which makes it smell amazing. It's naturally sweetened with ripe bananas. It's got no allergens and no dairy or egg products. So, I've made about $1,000 in 4 months. People love the treats. My treats are also very profitable, and I donate 25% to charity. So the companies that you see are the 4 companies that come close to my company. All of them are organic. A few of them are vegan, and some of them are meat-based. Only one of them is gluten-free. All of them have preservatives. None of them have spices, and none of them are human grade. So, my unique value proposition is, like I said before, it's 100% human grade and healthy for the dogs. So a few ingredients that I have are coconut oil, turmeric, clove, and cinnamon. So coconut oil helps with their fur. It helps with the weight loss, and it helps with the bone and joint health. So the spices that I use are anti-inflammatory. They promote good breath and improve the immune system. And I have no preservatives in my product. So my product is organic, vegan, gluten-free, and handmade. For my website, I have I have seasonal specials. So in December, I had the holiday special, which is where I had most of my profits. So I'm spreading the word by social media. I have an Instagram and Facebook account from my website, and just word of mouth from my friends and family. So my 2020 sales, I've had 24 customers, almost $1,000 in sales. So I've donated it so far 180, and my parents have matched me by that. My product is very profitable, as I said, and I have a 24% net profit margin. So my financial plan. So I've had a total of 24 customers. My total sales is $972.82. My sales per customer is $40.52. My gross profit is $760.17, and my gross profit margin is about 80%. So I've donated about $180 and $190 to the 11th Hour Rescue. I've paid my website $120.
My shipping cost is $120. My fuel charges is $50, and my loan repayment to my parents is $50. So my total profit is $230.13, which is about 24%. So a brighter future. So I'm thinking of changing the name, adding more flavors, adding seasonal flavors like apple, corn, and pumpkin for fall, donate a bit more to the 11th Hour Rescue, invest more in the company, and have more hands on deck. So my conclusion, dogs love the treats, as do the owners, and thank you for your time.
All right, that was awesome. So it's really impressive that you actually have it. You've actually sold this, right? So what did you do? Did you make it yourself? How did you make it?
Yeah, it's handmade. So it's just all homemade ingredients. Well, not homemade, but like ingredients you can just find all over the house, and it's just homemade.
And like, are there any regulations for like dog treats? Like you'd have to use like a commercial kitchen or something to like make it for humans. But are there regulations? I have no idea. So whatever you know about that would be very interesting.
There are no regulations, and as for humans eating them, they can eat them. I mean, it doesn't taste good. Believe me, I've tried it. It does not taste good. It tastes like
okay, thanks. That's awesome. Any other judges have any questions?
Yeah, I just have one. So I know you gave us your profits. So how long have you been selling these for? When did your company start?
So last year I sold it as a school project. I kind of closed it down, and then during December I decided to reopen it. And so about 4 to 5 months.
What makes you unique from everybody else in the market?
Well, it's vegan. There's no meat. And it's really just it's good for the dog. It doesn't get that. You know how like some dog treats, when you like have them, it kind of smells a bit bad. So yeah, my dog treats don't really smell that bad, and yeah.
Have you had repeat orders?
Yeah. I've had about 10 customers repeat their orders.
What is your price per unit if you had to upscale this quickly and make 100 of them in a week? Would you be able to do that?
I'm not sure. I mean, honestly, I'm not really.
What do you sell each treat for?
So I have 3 sizes. So my small is about $4, my medium is $6, and my large is $8. So, and I have I have my treats here. So the small kind of looks like this, the medium looks like this, and the large looks like this.
All right, that was awesome. Any other questions? If not, we'll go to the next team, but it's really cool that you've actually sold this, and sounds like you're getting repeat orders and all that. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
That was fantastic, and I love your little logo going on your screen. But that was great. And next up, we have Mentverse with Weasel on deck. Sorry, Food Fest on deck.
All right, Rishi, I think you can share your screen. Can you guys see it?
Yep, you're good.
All right. So hello, we are Mentverse. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm Rishi Natarajan, and my partner is Chris Sharoff. So what is our problem? Our problem is that many teens nowadays suffer from mental illnesses, such as stress, anxiety, and depression. These issues can stem from different areas, such as school-related issues, home-related issues, family problems, etc. Students are often victim of bullying, and grades often teens are stressed out. Teens also be placed in forms of abuse or neglect from the parents, and there could be something like a death or divorce in the family that could easily cause depression. On to you, Chris.
Thanks, Rishi. So as you know, there isn't any quality help for teens. It is hard to find the best help. Well, that is where MentFirst comes in. MentFirst is simply a website that suggests and helps teens find quality help for a fraction of the cost. It is a hub of resources that high school students can access to help them find quality help and feel better about themselves. Now, how does MentFirst work? Well, when the user first logs onto the website, they will be prompted to create an account. This account will be private and secure to them. Afterwards, the user will then complete a survey, which will give them common questions that are designed to locate the exact issue. After completing the survey, the user will get a score that will place them and give them the resources that they need to help themselves. So in terms of our unique value proposition, after analyzing other companies, we decided that MentFirst should only cater to high school students. And we both found out that many of these other mental health companies don't help everyone in need. And if we cater to high school students, then we can differentiate from other competitors. Now on to Rishi.
So in the first graph, we can measure the key metrics from the money we get from the appointments people make. There will be 4 different courses that will be available at different prices. We can expect the majority of our customers to choose the virtual options, as many of them may not be comfortable going in person with the ongoing pandemic. In the second graph, it shows how the money we'll get from each user will combine to create one full revenue stream. As the graph indicates, our revenue will be consisting of different factors MentFirst has to offer. One of the ways MentFirst has an advantage over others is through our survey system. Many other mental health companies, they rely on userships to help customers, but sometimes customers cannot find the exact issue. This survey will be able to accurately create analysis of the person and their situation. In many cases, the biggest mental health market is for teenagers, so we are able to get the most customers and revenue out of it. Back to Krish.
Thanks, Rishi. So the groups that we'll be targeting in terms of our channels and customer segments will be teenagers from ages 13 to 18 or high school students, as I mentioned before. And we expect that since most teens around this age have some sort of device like a smartphone or computer, they will be able to use our website, mentfirst.com. So now going on to our competitive analysis, our biggest competitor is going to be Psychology Today. So Psychology Today is similar to our brand, and their advantage is that their company offers help right there and then, whereas we guide the person towards help. But the biggest difference that MentFirst has is that we cater specifically to high school students, and we found out that that target audience is way bigger than other types of the mental health target audiences. And with the use of our survey system, we can help the person locate the exact issue. Now on to Rishi.
So for our marketing plan, we firstly begin by introducing the product. We want to create videos to send to schools across New Jersey to allow students to understand what MentFirst is. Next, we plan to advertise this on a larger scale. We want to utilize social media and create an account to get more people to join MentFirst. The third part of our plan would be the selling phase. We hope that by this point, MentFirst has taken off and we plan to make sales that have more and more people join us. We will also rely on other advertising methods to help get sales, such as contacting local businesses that work in the industry to build both brand awareness as well as build potential partnerships. For our financial plan, we will have 4 different plans. We will have a virtual course for $15. Our virtual counseling sessions will be $20. Our in-person counseling will be $25. If someone wants to get all 3, they get a bundle, which is $60. Back to Krish.
Thanks. So in terms of our distribution costs, we plan to advertise the local mental health centers, and overall advertising on a larger scale will definitely require some more money. So we expect for that to be our biggest distribution costs. In terms of our customer acquisition target, we expect that the value of the customer should be 3 times of what the cost of acquiring them would be, meaning that our goal is that the customer should value more than the cost of acquiring them in the first place. In terms of our partnership deals, as mentioned before in the distribution cost, advertising with the local mental health centers will also help us increase our partnerships. And in terms of our profits, we will generate profits from the users who purchase our counseling options, as well as our appointments. And for the profit distribution, we will gain 33% of the profits, while the other 67% will go to our sponsorship and partnerships, meaning that when a customer or student purchases our appointment, we will get 33% of that money, and the partner will get 67% of that money. So in terms of our revenue streams, as I mentioned before, our biggest revenue stream will be from the partnerships, and it will allow more people to see our company and also help us build exposure. And also our lifetime value. So we expect that as the customer uses MentFirst more, that they will feel more comfortable. And so we expect an increase in profit, and also from our the sponsorships, and we can gain sponsorships, which will help fund us and gain more users, which will ultimately equal more revenue and popularity, meaning that the more users we have, will gain more popularity and will also help us create more revenue. So now in terms of our timeline, in April, May of this year, we plan to promote MentFirst and create a social media page to build exposure. And then in June of this year, we plan to launch the finalized version of MentFirst. And then in July to September of this year, we will closely monitor sales and see how the company is doing. And then in December of this year, if MentFirst is rising, then we plan to build a team and create a bigger plan. And then in March or April of next year, if Menverse is maintaining a steady increase in terms of profit, then we will increase our team and expand Menverse throughout the US.
This will conclude our presentation. If you have any questions, please ask them now. Any further questions after our presentation is over, there's a phone number and email there. Thank you for your time.
All right, that was awesome. That's really cool. I don't really have much in the way of questions. Maybe one would be like, could you do something where you connect people with text messaging so that they could actually get like real-time feedback?
Yes, so we actually, that could be a potential idea for us in terms of being more efficient. So if they have maybe an update in terms of a resource or a new resource, they can get more information about that, or just get more and more information officially through a text message. So that could be one more platform.
Cool. Any of the other judges have questions?
Yeah, I want to ask about the registration process. I know people are hesitant to give their name or any information for anything, but certainly something, if you get a high school kid at midnight who's looking for some help and you're asking them to fill out some personal information, are you afraid that that's going to make people click off where you're at?
So we ensure that our the account will be secure, and we will actually work with the security in terms of the website and make sure that the website is secure 24/7. And we also plan to bring in a team eventually to monitor and make sure that nothing, suspicious happens.
How quickly before a person that uses your services, how quickly will they get a response?
So as soon as they complete the survey, it'll take for the website to process all of their answers, and then in about 30 seconds they should start to get resources that they can start to use. And eventually, as they use more, we actually plan to kind of bring in more resources as well. So and kind of expand the website as well.
Have you checked, are there any requirements with HIPAA law and different confidentiality laws because of people's mental health?
Right. So in terms of the confidentiality, we will make sure that everything that their information is secure and private. And as I mentioned before, we ensure that there will be security there. And we will also potentially contact their pharmacy just to make sure that there isn't any other issues as well, if they are free to give that information.
So a question I had, why would these resources are Googleable, right? So teenagers can go online and just Google resources that would be best for them. Why would someone choose to register for your website instead of doing that?
So the thing is, in terms of efficiency, we would have all the resources there and then. Instead of them looking up and taking a lot more time than they need, we would have all the resources right there that would link them to where they need help.
I also have a really quick question. So how do you plan on developing this platform? Because it sounds like it's going to get a little confusing, because I know you mentioned somewhere that you have a survey that determines exactly what the problem is. How do you plan on developing that?
Yes. So actually, in one of our distribution costs, we will actually bring in a software engineer, because me and Rishi don't have that experience to create a type of platform like that. So we will eventually bring in a software engineer to develop the website and make sure that it kind of analyzes the person correctly.
All right, if there's no more questions, that was fantastic. We'll go to the next one. Ashi and Jill, do you want to introduce the next?
Yep, great job, Mentverse. That was a great presentation. Next, we have Food Fest, and Weasel will be on deck.
Can everyone see and hear me? Okay,
yep.
Great. Let me just try to.
You're good. We see you and we see your screen.
Okay. 1 second.
No worries, just click present, you're all set.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Maxwell Lee, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys and share my company idea that I think can change the food industry. And the name of it is Food Fest. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have felt some sort of tiredness and fatigueness throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. We can't do the same things like how we used to just 1 year ago. And a lot of this times the tiredness and fatigue leads to laziness. And one thing many people don't want to do anymore is cook. With COVID restrictions, you can't even go outside and order a meal as easily because of the restrictions. And this is where Food Fest comes into play. Food Fest is an online platform in which chefs are affiliated with our platform, and consumers can hire these chefs to cook them a meal for just a day or just a meal. And with this, they don't have to cook. They can stay at home to eat their meal. And the chefs offer quality, freshly cooked food. And Food Fest won't just be around just for the pandemic. It'll also be around afterwards because it solves many problems that the consumers have. And as a new company, we're going to have competitors. Hire a Chef is a website that has a very similar business plan as us. However, their demographics and consumer base is very low. Restaurants and Takeout is also a big competitor because restaurants provide premium food, and takeout, they could pick up the food and just come back so they could eat at home. And Uber Eats is obviously going to be a big competitor because with Uber Eats, the Uber driver just drives to your house and delivers the food. Even though it can be expensive, they won't ever have to leave the house to get their food. So why are we different? Food Fest is a unique online platform in which people can hire personal chefs, and they could do just a day or just a meal, which makes it very affordable. And this industry is lacking a strong, well-organized company, so we believe we could be the first. So for our marketing plan, we have decided to start in New Jersey. In terms of our to attract chefs, we're going to be reaching out to culinary students and local chefs from restaurants. Culinary students have yet to make a name for themselves in the industry, and Food Fest would be a great opportunity for them to start. Local chefs from restaurants, they might just want a side hustle, and unfortunately, many have been laid off due to the pandemic because many restaurants have not been able to sustain a steady cash flow. And to attract customers, we're going to be utilizing social media and reaching out to regional business associations such as restaurants, stores, etc. And for the first customers, we're going to be promoting various discounts and promotions to attract the customers. And once our chef and consumer bases increase, we are going to be moving and spreading nationwide. And for our financial plan, we're going to be running using a transactional revenue model where we take 20% of the cut and the chef gets the rest, given that they have to provide the cooking utensils as well as the food. It's very similar to Uber, in which Uber takes a cut of the rides and the drivers get the rest of the money, and they also have to pay for the gas. In the future, we may look into a membership/subscription feature in which subscribers can get various discounts and promotions that non-subscribers would not get. In terms of expenses, we will have to take into account chef wages, advertising expenses, the cost to build the platform, and possibly hiring a functional staff in the future as well. So in order to see how well we're doing, we have 3 key metrics we could look at: the average time spent on the website, the average purchase amount per consumer, and the spending and viewing habits of the consumers. We could look into depth of this data and we can improvise accordingly. So this link right here is going to take us to the web. Can you guys still see this? I'm not sure.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. You could see the website. We have a little about us page right here and a contact us page. And if you go to book online, you can see, for visual purposes, I made up 3 make-believe chefs, their rates and their hours. And if you press book now, you can see the different meals and food options that they offer. We have an about us page, and we have a contact and subscription page to receive emails as well. So using the right plan of action and taking the right steps, I really believe that this will solve many problems for the consumers that we may have. Thank you for your time. Now would be a great time to ask any questions.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead, Jill.
Sorry, yeah. So a question I had was, a lot of the reason that people aren't really going out too much or eating out too much is because they're concerned with the spreading of the virus and having to social distance. So how do you plan to tackle any concerns that people may have about having a chef in their house?
Yeah, so before you sign up, whether you're a consumer or a chef, you can, we're gonna have a terms and conditions page, and throughout all the terms and conditions, we will show like that we're not liable. And as well, the chefs are responsible for creating or going through a COVID test, and they can only do it once if they're negative. And there's gonna be a way to document on the website of the COVID test of the negative result.
So my concern is, I like the concept. I feel like you're everything to everyone. And I hear culinary students. That's pretty cool. We get young and up and coming chefs, right, who are learning. And then you can have master chefs over there. And then you could have Chinese food or Italian food or whatever you want to bring. Is there a thought maybe that my thought for you would be, should you have a niche? Should you say, we're just going to be culinary students and you're going to get them the way up, or we're just going to be Italian food, or we're just going to be appetizers? It feels like you're everything to everyone, and that can be difficult because no one will say, hey, go there for blank. You have everything. What's your thoughts about that?
I understand your concern, but with our very like broad spectrum, it's almost kind of like a one-stop shop, similar to like something like Uber, where the driver you may get is maybe an amateur driver or has like 20 years of experience down his belt. So it's kind of similar in that aspect where it's reflected upon their reviews and such like that. And it also is reflected upon the price that they give themselves and how much they think they're worth for their time.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
All right, that's really cool. So, can I order it up now? It's interesting because my wife and I have been doing like Freaky Friday with like Grubhub and Uber Eats in COVID, and there's things we've ordered that we'd have never ordered before, right? But now why not? Like they're right there. So it might be interesting if you had some interesting chefs come in and so on. Anyone else have questions? All right, we're gonna go to the last of session 1. Is that correct?
Yep, that was fantastically done. So the last team up is Weasel. Hopefully your electronics are working now, and then after that, we'll take a little break.
Right, I think we should have everything in order now.
Yes, we should.
Great. Nearly everywhere in the world has SMS infrastructure. If you've ever sent a text message before, you've used this massive international network, which is an issue because it is extremely insecure. Anyone from major government agencies to individual hackers can see who you're texting and what you're texting. That's why the 4 of us got together to solve this problem. I'm Frank Gomes.
I'm Connor McDermott.
I'm Tejas Matt.
And I'm Mario DeSanza. Together we are HackSugar, and we're developing Weasel, the secure messaging platform.
Weasel is a drop-in SMS enhancement focused entirely on user privacy. Weasel is built to secure communications between any sender and any recipient and utilizes the SMS protocol over the SMS MMS network for low latency communication with an extremely low network requirement. Weasel is focused on user privacy entirely. Our feature set shows it. Our feature set includes hardened military-grade encryption, disposable rotatable phone numbers, and message verification. All 3 of these work in conjunction to enhance user privacy and make sure that your message is seen solely by the intended recipient, and it will deter any prying eyes. We make sure that any messages are verified by their sender and the recipient. Under the hood, Weasel features dual-layer military-grade encryption using the 2 algorithms seen on the slide. Our custom encryption implementation inherently allows for something called burnable messages. These messages are messages with a quote expiry date, where you can set in seconds, minutes, hours, days, or any duration you please. This allows for any messages to expire after an allotted time period, especially for something sensitive like a password or a one-time password. Weasel encryption also inherently protects against SIM swapping, SMS snooping, as well as fraud and identity theft. Now, in order to show Weasel its usability as well as its applications, we've prepared a quick demonstration for you. Now, give us 1 second.
We've been trying to get this live, but the technology gods are not with us today.
It really could use a little bit of reliability here.
We'll just go on. I guess we'll just have to go on since our demonstration is not moving correctly.
Just move on.
Yep.
No worries. This always happens, even in the live demonstrations. It's all cool.
All right. Weasel should be useful for anyone who values their privacy, whether that be whistleblowers, journalists, or privacy enthusiasts, either here or under oppressive regimes. As a feature of the type of encryption we use, messages sent through the app are cryptographically verified, so it's guaranteed that the message hasn't been sent by an unknown third party. Corporations who use SMS for two-factor authentication for things like logons and banks may be very interested in this. We expect to market primarily via privacy forums and word of mouth. Of course, the app will come packaged with our privacy-based operating system, Blink OS, and we will do some corporate outreach for the two-factor authentication qualities of the app. All of our services are available through the Onion network as well, a network accessible to nearly everybody, no matter where in the world they might be or under what oppressive government they could live. Our app has two primary advantages over traditional encrypted messaging. First, we run decentralized servers so that we cannot be blocked with one fell swoop. And second, we use traditional SMS MMS networks that are present all over the Earth's surface. So you can use Weasel at any time from anywhere. It'll even work in North Korea.
Yeah, that's what makes Weasel so special. Because we use the SMS MMS network, we can give you service basically anywhere. All of our competitors require either cellular data or internet, something that is either slow, prohibitively expensive, or entirely unavailable in certain areas. What we do is we use the same messaging networks that everyone here has been using for the past few years. And what we do is instead of sending a plain message, we send a garbled encrypted message that only the recipient can decrypt. This is how we are able to use networks that exist everywhere.
Another great feature and part of Weasel is that it has a very easy to use and straightforward design. A lot of people that are going to be using Weasel don't want to feel like they have to learn something new and something foreign in order to get the privacy that they deserve. Moving on to cost for us, very minimal overhead is required for us to run Weasel on our end, as we only pay about half a cent per gigabyte for server costs and very, very minute API costs, and we gross a profit of about 52%. Moving on to the revenue side, on the consumer level, Weasel offers message integrity verification for a price of $9.99, which attaches a person's verified identity and ensures all messages are guaranteed to be from the person that it says they're coming from. We also offer our virtualized rotating phone number service plans, which range from $5.99 to $19.99 per month. In terms of corporate plans, they're available on a case-by-case basis due to varying size, scale, and implementation. Any questions?
All right, that was awesome. So my question is, you were showing the demo. Does this thing actually exist? Like, have you written something and does it work?
Yes, it does. Yes. The demonstration, not only is it a live demonstration, the only issue that we're really having here is Zoom. We actually have a link to the demonstration if one of you would want to, for example, watch it, but it is an existing product and it does work.
And do you have downloads and are people using it?
We are currently testing this app in an alpha stage. So currently we've limited testing to ourselves as well as a few others. Since right now the application in itself, it has the encrypted features, but we're still working on making sure everything works as seamlessly as needed.
Okay.
Before we get everything ready for prime time, we want to make sure that everything's ironed out and that all the functionality works as we want it to.
So like if I was using it and it like basically it's sending an encrypted message through SMS and then you guys decrypt it. Is that basically the idea?
Yes. So the way Weasel works is the demo shows this a lot better, and I can provide the link if we want later. I'll send it in the chat after the questions are finished. But the way it works is your message will be encrypted on device, sent over the normal SMS network, and then decrypted on the recipient's device. Each encrypted message contains a special cryptographically signed data, which will constitute of the sender's identity, which allows us to verify that the message actually came from the right sender and that the message itself is so that prevents any sort of man-in-the-middle attacks, essentially.
Great. Okay, sorry to take all that time.
Help me out on the cost. When you said $9.95 on the first thing, that is for what?
I think, Mario, you can take this one, right?
All right, so the $9.99 in terms of like the consumer level we mentioned earlier, which is the message integrity verification service. Basically what that does is that allows you to send in a scan of your ID and will actually attach that to your Weasel user. So that way the messages that are coming from you are guaranteed to be coming from you, and anybody receiving a message from you knows that it's coming from you guaranteed, and that there is no change and nothing done, like say, as Tay just mentioned earlier, a man-in-the-middle attack.
So I pay $9.99. Is that a month? Is that a year? Is that a one-time fee?
That is a one-time fee, yes.
And then all of my messages, if I want to send a message to Megan, she doesn't have to pay any money to get it. It's just the cost is only absorbed on my end, correct?
That is correct.
I'd like to add on for a minute here is that, so everyone already has a unique identity if you use Weasel, but that unique identity is not actually verified to something like a government ID. So say you're a public figure, say you're a company, you want to be able to attach an actual ID, like certified ID that IDs who you are, not just that it came from you, but that it came from the person that you say you are. So that's why you pay once, and then your identity gets stored with your key in our databases. So that way people can see that it is not only just the same person, but it is the same person that is you.
Now, let me ask, when you send out a message using Weasel, let's say on the other end, using the same example Tom used, I sent a message to Megan, but Megan is not on Weasel, I'm on Weasel. When she responds to me, does her message get encrypted also, or no?
Yes. So no, not specifically. So what happens is Weasel has its own protocol wherein we will negotiate a communication. So if the other person does not have Weasel, there's no way for us to encrypt their message. So Weasel will use its compatibility layer and tell you that you are using an unencrypted messaging connection. In order for them to actually use the encrypted features of Weasel, they'll need to be using the Weasel app, or we plan on making the Weasel protocol itself implementable by other messaging clients, so that the other clients can also implement the Weasel protocol, meaning making messages intercompatible within applications as well.
All right, so there's lots of ways to send messages, right? I mean, from a text to an email to any social media direct message. Is Weasel work on all of these? Forgive me if you went over that.
Yeah, so Weasel is built on SMS, meaning the actual green text messages you'll see on an iPhone or the messages you send from Android. That's what Weasel's layered on top of. So it will be intercompatible with any sort of SMS messages, which is the most commonly used messaging service today, since it's available throughout every single device that you own, from a cell phone ranging from 10 years ago to now.
What's your closest competitor? Who would you say, this is my number one competitor? Is anybody else using a system like this right now?
Connor,
I'll take that.
All right.
I'd say our closest competitor would be someone like Signal or Telegram. They are also open source, except the way that we have a advantage over them is that we are decentralized, meaning we cannot be blocked in one fell swoop the same way they can, and we use SMS. So while they are our competitors in the encrypted messaging sphere, they do not have the same technologies that we do.
I would ask the same. What about Snapchat?
One of the disadvantages
Snapchat's in an entirely different league, in that they don't even encrypt anything. It's all over internet. So you need to have internet or cellular data, and it's not encrypted at all.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I love this. I love that you actually built it too. I wish we could have seen it, but Mark has a question. He's on the side here.
You're talking about encryption and decentralization and a bunch of other aspects of your platform here. Is there any kind of blockchain backbone to this, or
We don't use blockchain.
No worries.
Also, in the case that you guys would like to see the demonstration, I have a video where I talk through the entire demonstration, if that may be helpful. It does show the entire
How long is it?
It's a minute long.
Sure. Why don't you go for it, and then we'll take a break. Sorry if this is running a little long.
We'll paste it. I'll test if it shows. If so, I'll paste it in the Zoom here. Since it's not showing on our end, for some reason, the video rendering is a little off.
Let me see. Yeah, I clicked the link and it's like a blank screen for whatever reason. Anyway, no worries.
Should
I love it.
Should I share my screen and we can watch the demo?
Sure, if you have it, that would be wonderful.
Yep, 1 second. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear it.
If not, the guys can talk through it.
I can talk through it if you want to start up that video again.
Yeah.
Yep, 1 second. All right.
All right, so we have 3 windows on the screen. The first one, you're going to see the left, all the way to the left is a logger.
Yeah, we don't see, it's like black. That was the same thing that was happening when I tried to play the video.
No, this is, I'm seeing the video on my end.
I see the video on my end as well.
Okay, sorry, I see a message at the top. Yep. Go for it.
All right, so the first one that message that was sent was an unencrypted message, which you saw in the logger that says this is an unencrypted message. The second one that was just sent says this is an encrypted message sent with Weasel. Now, if you see on the logger, that one that highlighted there, the bunch of highlighted text, that's the encrypted garbled text that anybody that would be snooping onto your messages could actually see. When you send the unencrypted message over normal SMS, that's what anybody that snoops onto the SMS network can see. The encrypted message is what you send with Weasel, and this has huge implications in the two-factor authentication world. All the codes that you send, like you receive from like a bank account or like your bank account saying, please verify your identity by inputting this code that they send to you over text, those can be easily deciphered, decrypted, and seen because the SMS network is not secure. If they use Weasel, which comes into our corporate outreach plan, those messages can be inherently secure with Weasel and can make sure that your login is actually you instead of somebody else snooping on the SMS network.
All right, that was cool. That was like the real app. What was the app running on when you did that? Was it like a simulator or something?
That app was casted from my phone that was running and actually receiving SMS messages and being logged.
Awesome.
We wanted to do it live here, but obviously the technical difficulties prevented us from doing so.
No worries.
Zoom has been giving us a lot of problems today.
All right, we're trying to work with you, and we did, and we got to see everything, so that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
No worries. And we're actually kind of on time, which is crazy. But I think we'll wrap up. You guys, you've got a lot of time there, but we'll get ready for the 10-minute break here. And we're actually on time. This is going really fast, actually. I thought it was going to be a really long event, but it's so easy to like kind of watch this. That's for sure. So so time's flying by. So let me go back to the deck here, and we will take a little break. Does anyone want to say anything during the break? Jill and Ashi, do you have something to say? Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
Well, we can just introduce the team that's going to come on after, just so they're prepared. So after our 10-minute break, Outlet 360 will be presenting.
Jill, can I ask you a question on the rubric? So some of the categories only go up to 3. Are they supposed to go up to 5? Or is 3 the top?
Yeah, the point of that was just to have it go up to 3. Anything shaded in gray, we just don't include that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
John, I see you're using a completely different scale here.
Oh, sorry. I'll
No
go
worries.
in and that's what I'll do in my 10-minute break.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, I'm sharing my screen now and we'll be on a 10-minute break. All right, we'll see you guys after the break.
John, I'm not sure if you're aware, but you're screen sharing right now.
Okay, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us through the break there. If Jill and Ashi, if you could announce the next team, that would be great. One thing I'll say is we've been a little remiss in that we haven't mentioned the names of the schools that that each participant comes from. So we'll kind of make up for that now. Jill and Ashi, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, John. So before we begin with Outlet 360, we did have a quick request from members. They didn't get to present their product demo due to a little technical issue. So we're going to give you 1 minute now, Christian Rishi, if you want to go ahead and show it to us.
Sure. Just give me 1 minute. We'll just. All right, do you see it?
Yeah, looks good.
Great. All right. So here's just like a basic prototype of what this area would look like. So our first question kind of need to get like to know the person and to see how they're doing currently. So we have a few basic standard questions. Shortly after that, we're going to ask them how their school is going, and if they're enjoying it, to just kind of see what their school life is like. And then after that, we're going to start to go more into the mental health issues and see if they experience these types of issues. So then if I just click one, I just hit okay. And then after that, kind of just start to unravel how is life at home and stuff like that. So that's kind of like a basic prototype of what we have so far. We're of course going to build on it and make the questions more valid as well, but this is kind of a standard prototype. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great job. All right, next we have Outlet 360, and they come from the Morris County School of Technology. And on deck, we have Deliver Together.
All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes. So hi, I'm Homie.
And I'm Neil.
And our product is Outlet 360, improving the way we tech. Let's start out with what is Outlet 360. Outlet 360 is a multi-outlet socket which allows each socket on its own to rotate. It offers enough space for different directions. So let's continue. Problems and solutions. Have you ever wanted to charge your phone, but there are just so many plugs in your extension cord that you just take out some random one? Well, I don't know about you guys, but that's definitely happened to me.
Me as well.
Well, we have a solution for us and you. Each outlet will be able to rotate 360 degrees. And in addition, consumers can also customize their placement, colors, etc. Competitor analysis and advantage. Our competitors are known to be Leviton, VCoop, and EchoGear. However, we have many competitive advantages over them. So our first competitive advantage we kind of went over, customization. In addition, they can also add or remove any individual outlet, and we will be selling individual outlets as well. Unfair advantage in UAP. So our first category is patent. So how will idea not be stolen? And also, is our product new? Well, the answer is yes, yes, yes. Our product is very, very new. It's never been in the market before. In addition, quality and power saving. So first of all, quality. Our products will be made in America, first of all, and they will be checked for efficiency and damage before they are sent out. And next, power saving. We will include this into our social responsibility plan because we know we got some social responsibility experts in here. We can continue. For our future enhancements, we'll kind of go over this briefly because it is sprinkled throughout the presentation, but we wanted to include these factors in the future because we are a growing company. Let's talk about marketing plan. How will we get brand recognition? So if we look at product, underneath product, the first little picture is our packaging. So our packaging promotes a simplistic design, but definitely a unique one. We included our logo, name, and a symbol of an outlet to symbolize our company. As we go on to the next place, we only currently sell on our own website. However, as we explained in the future enhancements, and we sprinkled it throughout, Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot is where we want to grow in the future. And price, our competitor GE ranges about $8.99 to $17.99. However, our prices are our basic outlet's $10, our customizable outlet is $12, and our individual outlets are $2. And lastly, promotion. We wanted to gain brand recognition by social media because obviously we all know social media is definitely the new market. So if we look underneath there, those are our two posts. We actually currently do have an Instagram. So it's at out.lit360. So as you start following our little Instagram, we can talk about demographics and psychographics. So the demographics of a technology market is very, very limited, as we all kind of know. However, in the psychographics section, we will be talking about the business market, consumer market, government market, and the gaming market. We'll create different advertisements and campaigns for each.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff, the financial plan / model. So as you can see in the graph, we're going to break even between month 3 and 4. In addition, we're going to have no inventory between month 1 and month 6. And we're going to gain more after that. And this will kind of help us determine the future of our company. So let's move on to cost structure. So we understand that our salary is only $100 a month, and that's the reason because we're living with our parents and we're starting this as high schoolers. So we really don't need this money right now. But maybe as the company grows and as we grow, we could help save this for college and maybe even make this our full-time jobs. So let's get into our revenue streams and sales and cost projections. So as you can see in the two tables, we have our number of outlets sold in units and number of bonus outlets sold in units, as well as in dollars. So in total, we're going to make about $34,650. So for the cost side, we're going to break down our costs into variable and fixed costs. And for units, we're going to do units manufactured and a number of employees. And our costs will be around $30,000 for $150. Lastly, we're going to move on to our key metrics. So our KPI 1 is going to be our customer review, and our KPI 2 is going to be our corporate social responsibility, and our KPI 3 is going to be the sales of the product. And lastly, Bomi will put a link to our product demonstration, and you guys can watch this on your own time. So yeah. Please feel free to ask us any questions, and thank you so much for your time. Our contact information is all here, as well as our business card.
All right, cool. I've totally had that problem. There's actually a power strip I put just for this meeting on the other side of this, where I had to put like a 3-plug thing in on top of the power strip to run this. But how about like a lower profile? Have you considered like making a low profile twistable plug?
Yeah, so basically, do you want to answer this one? All right. So basically, each outlet you can customize. So basically, you get about 10 outlets in beginning, and then you could have it like you could have 1 outlet, or you could have 2 outlets, or you could have 2, 3, 4. And the max limit's going to be about 10, since there would be kind of like an issue with the structure. Yeah.
Cool. Other judges, you want to pop in?
Yeah, I had a quick question. So I know you mentioned you have a website, you had your estimated sales and everything. Do you actually have the product built, or how are you planning?
No, we're gonna make this like, so basically it's gonna be able to twist, right? So the outside product will be made of regular plastic, and the insides will have a specifically designed circuit board to transmit electricity through the power outlets. And in the future, as in the future enhancements, we are planning to go like neon or glow in the dark. So that way, if you ever want to plug your phone in the night or plug something in the night, you can obviously see that outlet.
That sounds good. And how do you predict the costs of manufacture each to be?
Okay, so basically, we're going to 3D print our outlet, like the casing of the outlet. So basically, we're going to have each circuit board in middle of 2 cases, and we're going to snap those, or we're going to melt those, put those cases together, and we're going to connect them, basically. So through a small connector, and we explain that into our product demonstration video.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem.
So
Yeah, I think
question. Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, I think you guys are lacking in personality and confidence. You really need to. No, you give some really strong sales projections. How are you going to get those? Where are you going to sell them? Tell me the marketing plan again. Tell me how you're going to meet all those goals. And God bless you.
Yeah, so we're currently going to market on our social media. We already have about like 70 followers. So easily on our first month, if we have 25 buyers, that'll easily get us to our 50, because it's kind of like going to spread by word of mouth too. And for our selling, we're going to currently sell only through our website, and after we're going to see how that goes for 6 months. And then after 6 months, if we do well enough, then we're going to expand to Amazon, Home Depot, and like Costco or other retailers as well.
Does this require some type of special engineering? Do you have that?
Yes, it'll take a few months to develop and everything, and then we have to apply for a patent so no one can steal our idea. So that'll take about 20 to 25 months in general. So about 2 years to get that patent, so no one can kind of steal our idea. And yeah, that's how it works.
All right, very cool. If there's no questions, we'll keep on moving. Fantastic job. I look forward to uncluttering my power strip.
Okay, next up we have Deliver Together, and this is from Ray Kushner Yeshiva High School, and we also have a member from the Academy of MSc, Math, Science, and Engineering. And then up next we have Cardiac Connect. So before you guys begin, we're just going to take about 15 seconds to finish up our little judging rubrics, and then we'll let you know when you can start.
Great idea.
Okay, looks like we're good. You guys can get started.
Can you all see our presentation?
Yep,
Alright,
you're
sounds
good.
good. Maurice, you're good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maurice Korish, and I'm from RKYHS.
I'm Adam Hollander from RKYHS as well.
My name is Neil Matthew. I'm from the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering.
And I'm Matthew Mendelson, and I'm from RKYHS.
And we are Deliver Together. To begin, Deliver Together is an incorporated nonprofit organization within the state of New Jersey. With the outbreak of the pandemic, many immunocompromised and elderly individuals could no longer safely and reliably accrue and garner their groceries. This created a tremendous problem. Deliver Together was quickly established and began to offer an entirely free delivery, grocery, and errand run service to mitigate the spread of the disease. An integral part of our organization is that we have an entirely high school-led service, and we also want to foster close relationships between elderly individuals and volunteers in a safe and meaningful manner.
We have spent countless hours programming to make our system very simple and intuitive. A client can easily register through our website, delivertogether.org, using their contact information and their town. They're then contacted via phone for an introduction and confirmation, and they're sent a secure 4-digit PIN, which will be used to place orders on our website. Now, volunteers are paired with clients based on their location, and the temporary volunteer for the client can then complete the errand for the client. All right, now on to our impact. We have conducted over 850 grocery and meal deliveries, and we've also expanded to books and bikes. Our organization began in New Jersey, but we have also expanded to other states as well, such as Maryland and Florida. On the whole, we have affected countless lives.
A few months ago, I spoke with a lovely elderly woman client of ours, and she shared with me a tragic story. She said that one time when she was trying to sign up for an Instacart order, she actually had to stay up till 1 in.the.morning in order to process the order, and then on top of that, pay a fee. That is the precise goal we are trying to address, and we've so far been successful in doing so through generous donations. As you can see in the graph, we've received contributions from a college Shark Tank competition, our GoFundMe page, multiple grants and independent donations, and we have been extremely grateful and humbled by this support, both locally and abroad. What this means in terms of our spending, we have, as you can see in our pie chart, we have generally spent most of our income on legal expenses. That includes incorporating as a nonprofit in New Jersey, and we're actually a pending nonprofit nationally. We also supply PPE gear to our volunteers if necessary in order to ensure their safety, because they are putting their lives on the line for others. And lastly, we implement a number of website updates in order to maintain the security of our clients' personal information.
Because we are a nonprofit organization, we're able to engage in partnerships with a variety of other organizations, putting us ahead of our competitors. Now, I know a number of you are wondering, well, what's Deliver Together going to do after their pandemic? One way or another, we're going to get through this, then what's Deliver Together going to do then? Well, I'm here to assure you that the market for Deliver Together is rather large and it's growing. A variety and number of clients have demonstrated desire to us to continue using our service after the pandemic, citing how they love the personal connection with the volunteers and how they really appreciate being able to have a free delivery option that's convenient and local right near them. So to these ends, we're constantly recruiting younger students to ensure the continuation of our organization in the future. And as well, we've established several long-term relationships with local governments and businesses in and outside of New Jersey to ensure that we'll continue to run smoothly and efficiently moving forward.
Overall, Deliver Together is an established organization that has affected hundreds of lives, both in the state of New Jersey, in various other states, and even abroad. With further funding, our organization can continue to diversify our marketing operations, improve website for scalability, and enhance our distribution methods. On the left, you'll see a picture of myself and several other management team members with the mayor of Bloomfield and the executive director of Essex County. He is currently right now leading the effort to ensure that care packages are provided to low-income families in Newark, New Jersey, which Deliver Together is currently engaging in a partnership with. Deliver Together has completed hundreds of deliveries, and we are fortunate and we hope to continue to work together, come together, and deliver together. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was great. So I actually delivered groceries to a senior during COVID. So there was, I totally see the need. And like, there's all these delivery services online, and maybe my question is, how would you mitigate the problem of making it easy for people who are not computer savvy to actually like order? Like, how do you make that easier for them?
So that's a great question and one that we have to address every single day. So when we reached out, I'm going to give you an example. I think this will best demonstrate how we manage this type of issue. So when we reached out, for example, to the mayor of Livingston, New Jersey, he connected us directly with the health department chair. And then she began giving us names of elderly individuals who actually don't have computers or telephones in their homes. So we quickly began, or cell phones, and we quickly began realizing that we could only use their home lines. And in order to address this type of issue, we paired individual volunteers as opposed to having them need to register on our website. We manually did that on their behalf. And then we ensure that they have a weekly delivery and are paired with those volunteers.
Great. Other judges?
Yeah, I actually had quite a few questions. So the first one being, how many people have you served so far with this?
Sure. So we have over 100 families that are registered, and many of them are repeat individuals. And this goes just for our website. Now, we've done over 1,000 deliveries in terms of our partnerships with the Salvation Army, with the Friendship Circle, and with various other local nonprofit organizations.
That's impressive. And I know you guys are a nonprofit, but do you have any means of making revenue, or is this completely profit-free?
So we are entirely nonprofit. There is no revenue streamline, and all funds go directly towards the organization. We have a very transparent financial log, which all of our executive team members have access to, as well as our advisory board.
Got it. And the last question I had is, do you have any competitors, I would say, and how do you differentiate from other services who may or may not do the same thing as what you guys are doing?
So we actually, at least within New Jersey, there aren't any large-scale competitors, at least in the sense that they've received well-established recognition from local media outlets, from Congress people, which we've collaborated with, from mayors, which we've collaborated with. But in terms of for-profit organizations, obviously there's Uber Eats, and there's Fresh Direct. There are various other organizations. And we've actually looked into potentially reaching out to them. One of our advisory board members recently suggested that. But the unique value proposition entirely is that we are a free service, and that we really offer a personable experience between all of our volunteers and our clients.
Sounds
Now,
good. Thank you.
I know that there's always a cost associated with accounting. There's nothing that's ever free. There's a cost. Somebody's bearing the cost. Do you eventually plan on applying for grants, or how do you plan to sustain yourself?
Adam, you want to take this one?
Sure. So as I covered in the slides, I can actually just pull it back up so you can see. Sorry, give me a moment. Sorry about this. So we have applied for a number of grants, as you can see, and we've also received funding through our GoFundMe page. We've actually raised over $1,500 through there. And that's a continuous stream, and we plan on that continuing as we are a nonprofit and we're eligible for more grants, and people have more of an incentive to donate because we are, again, they receive tax deductions.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I might have just missed this, but did you guys have a product demonstration?
So we do not have we do have a product demonstration that we can show. I think, send it to you, Jill, and Ashi, an entire document. If it would be okay, we could show our website now.
Yeah, just a quick moment. Okay, yeah, that works too.
Yeah, so you guys can explore the website on your own. You can just copy and paste the link Neil just sent into your browser, and look at our various features if you want.
Great, thank you.
I also wanted to ask, currently, what counties are you focused on serving?
So we actually serve Essex, Morris, Somerset, and Union counties, but we've also gone all the way down to South Jersey. I myself have gone with Adam to New York. We have volunteers actually in Florida. We have over 20 registered articles already published down there. Again, we would love to send them in the chat. We did send a pamphlet to Jill and Ashi, which I think they told us would be forwarded to the judges.
Yep, we did forward that.
Oh, awesome. And then we also have various video presentations, and again, recognition from Congresspeople, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, and as well as the mayors.
Great job. Thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you, guys.
I actually have a quick question, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
You had mentioned about having your advisory board that you consult it with. So how did you come up with your advisory board? Did you have certain criteria that you had for it? I love that. Go ahead.
Sure. So our advisory board, we really wanted to satisfy several needs. Number one, we needed someone who had legal experience. So we have two attorneys on our advisory board, one in Florida, which is also where we operate. And then we have an attorney up here in New Jersey. And then also we have a virologist who also happens to be one of the attorneys. So that satisfies all of our medical needs. We have a doctor who brings in medical experience as well for safety protocols. And then we also have two community leaders who run nonprofits themselves. So they really, again, because we are entirely high school teen led, we do have, and we're really grateful to have a lot of guidance from incredible and well experienced community leaders.
All right.
Thank you.
Any more questions? All right, that was great. You guys have really made a difference, a big difference. I want to say already, but you're totally in it. So way to go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. So next up, we have Cardiac Connect, also from Ray Kushner Yeshiva High School. And on deck, we have the Guardian. So again, we're just going to give the judges a quick 30 seconds to just finish up their rubrics, and we'll let you know when to begin. All right, you guys can get started.
Hi, I'm Shira Alicia.
I'm Gila Klivanoff.
And I'm Avi Wagner. Together, we're the creators of Cardiac Connect.
Is anybody here a doctor?
This is a phrase that can mean life or death in many medical emergencies.
In fact, on average, 350,000 people undergo sudden cardiac arrest out of hospital each year.
And every minute after someone experiences this, their chance of survival diminishes by 10%.
With ambulances taking 8 to 14 minutes to arrive at the scene, the victim's chance of survival is slim to none.
Wait, but what about AEDs? Aren't those meant to help in medical emergencies such as cardiac arrest?
Yeah, that's correct. While automated heart defibrillators increase one's chance of survival by 75%, they're commonly hard to find.
Now this is where Cardiac Connect comes in.
Cardiac Connect is an application, alarm system, and navigation that brings early access to cardiac arrest emergencies. On the right of your screen, there is a demo video of our coded app. Avi is also holding up the downloaded app on his phone. When an app user spots a cardiac arrest emergency, they open their app on their smartphone and press the emergency button. Once pressed, any registered medical assistant within close proximity receives an alert on their smartphone. They then receive the quickest directions to the emergency setting, allowing the victim to receive timely help, rather than waiting an entire 8 minutes for an ambulance.
In order to minimize the prolonged search for an AED, Cardiac Connect includes a device that is directly attached to the defibrillator. This attached AED device includes an alarm and navigation system. So, after the emergency button is activated, our device's alarm will sound to alert any passerby that there is a current cardiac arrest emergency. That person can then grab the AED and use the connected navigation device to lead them directly to the medical scene. On the screen, you will see 2 prototypes of our device. And here's a demo of our device and app in action.
Our financial plan includes 2 revenue streams. First, we profit off of licensing for new sales of our AED attached device. We will negotiate a license, obtaining 5% royalties of the company's growth value. Every 8 years, an AED must be replaced. Therefore, an estimated 200,000 AED devices per company are sold a year for around $1,750 each. Recommending that the company increases their price to $1,950, Cardiac Connect sales will generate around $19.5 million through AED sales.
We will also sell the device separately as an attachment for AEDs already purchased and in circulation, such as those in a mall, library, and just about any other public place. Because our product costs roughly $45 to make, and we will sell these devices for $150 each, we would make $100 in profit per unit. As there are 3.2 million AED units currently in the US, selling our device for an eighth of these units that are in circulation would make us a potential profit of $40 million merely on these sales.
We are marketing Cardiac Connect to nurses, doctors, lifeguards, EMTs, and other CPR certified medical professionals. To reach these groups, we plan to market our app to colleges with medical schools, because students studying medicine would likely have a high interest in using their new medical skills to help the community.
We'll also get in touch with healthcare workers, specifically cardiologists, so they can sponsor our app and even recommend it to patients.
Although there are several applications and websites currently on the market with similar goals, none of them are comparable to ours, as we have a multifaceted system comprised of an application, alarm, and navigation system that the other companies just don't have.
We have already initiated conversations with a patent attorney to file for a provisional patent. Additionally, we plan on hitting the market hard and fast, minimizing the risk of competitors imitating our product.
Our product designed the modern and technological version of, is anybody here a doctor? With Cardiac Connect, you will never have to worry about that question. You will always feel confident knowing that all you need in an emergency is simply on your phone.
Thank you. We are Cardiac Connect.
That was awesome. It's really good. Yeah, I guess my one question is, where are you at in your prototype? Like you showed the demo, like do you actually have something built? And tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to pass that on to Avi, but I do have the prototype right here, but Avi can go into more detail on that.
So we designed a casing originally using 3D printing, and then we moved to a more robust material using plexiglass. And we use a microcontroller to code our multiple modules, as well as a coding platform for both iOS and Android for our mobile app. And the two of them will work in tandem. So that way you will have the app directly integrated with the device itself.
That's really cool. Yeah, any other judges have questions?
Yep, I got two quick ones. So I might have missed this, but what would you say is your product line? Are you just selling the app, or are you also selling systems to install in each AED?
Okay, so the app is free of charge. Our revenue streams are mostly from the AED. So if a company sells their AED for $1,750 regularly, which is the average price, with our attached device, we would recommend that they increase their price to $1,950. So collecting royalties of 5% on the $1,950 would make us approximately $100 a unit. Because there are 200,000 AED devices sold a year by the leading AED companies, in total, our potential gross income would be about $20 million. This would make the AED companies an incremental $58 a unit, which would increase their margin. Most importantly, this gives them a competitive advantage in the market, which would also increase their sales. So for our second revenue stream, we'll be selling the devices on our own for $150, which would make us a profit of $100 on each one. There are currently 3.2 million AEDs in circulation in the US, but according to statistics, the US is short by 30 million units to get adequate coverage and save lives. So selling our device for an eighth of these 3.2 million units would make us a potential profit of $40 million. And in total, both of our revenue streams combined would produce approximately $60 million in just 1 year. And keep in mind, this is just taking into account the US. We're going to eventually go global.
Got it. And one more aspect to that is this won't work unless you have these devices installed on each AED, correct? So what do you plan on doing initially once you have, like in the process of waiting for all of these AEDs to get installed? Are you still going to try and promote your app, or are you going to wait?
Well, so I'm going to pass that on to Gila, but I'm going to first start off by saying that our device is completely attachable. So you just have to put it on the AED. Once it's manufactured, it's pretty easy to place on the AED, but Gila can talk more about the marketing.
So in terms of marketing the app, we plan, as we said in the slides, we plan on reaching out to medical schools in order to get medical students to volunteer as assistants. But we also plan on reaching out to local hospitals in order to build relationships with them, because in hospitals, we will find both target assistants and also patients that could very much benefit from using our product. And we also plan on attending medical conferences in order to meet people involved in the medical field and build personal relationships with them in order to spread the word about Cardiac Connect, its reliability, and the popularity that our app can have.
Got it. Thank you, guys.
So to kind of build off of Ashi's question, your app is very reliant on having that AED alarm go off so that people know where the nearest AED is. Now, in the initial stages, a lot of the AEDs that are encountered in these various areas where the app is being used may not have that alarm, and so people still won't know where the AEDs are. So how do you plan on tackling that aspect, since both of your products are so interconnected and so reliant on each other?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying that our application can definitely work without the device as well. So it could alert the nearest CPR certified medical assistant if the AEDs don't have the alarm on them yet, but we're very confident in our relationships with the AED manufacturers. And we think that they would definitely be interested in this because, as I said, there needs to be 30 million more AEDs. So we think that in general, the market share of any AED companies will grow and our device will help differentiate them in the marketplace.
How does your app target those that are certified to give this type of service? Do they have to volunteer, give you their information? How do you get the people that can operate the equipment?
Okay, so I'm going to pass that on to Gila.
So as mentioned before in the slides, we said that we plan on targeting people that are still in medical school and asking them if they would like to volunteer. And in order to make sure that anyone volunteering on our app to be a CPR certified medical assistant is actually CPR certified, we're going to require that they give us like some aspect of their certification in order to actually prove that they are certified.
Yeah, Avi can actually pull up the application screen recording and show you the point in the screen where you can see who's coming to help.
I had, sorry to jump back in here, but
Yeah, of course.
what about the battery? How does it like stay connected and how long can it stay connected? Have you worked through those ideas or does it plug in?
Okay, so I'm going to pass it on to Avi as well.
So for the previous question, just to go back, if you see right where my mouse is, there's actually going to be a section where you can download the PDF version of their certification. That usually comes when you've done the required amount of lessons to receive your CPR certification. And about the device batteries. So currently we're using just a 9-volt battery, which should power our microcontroller for a fairly long time, as it's just in standby until it's really being called through the app. The AED itself, its batteries are replaced every 3 years, and we will hope to have our device battery last, if not as long as the AED battery, but longer.
Okay, cool. And are there any competitors and do you have any idea what your competitive analysis would be?
Yeah, so Gila can take that on.
So we mentioned our competitors in our slides, such as
Sorry.
EMNet Finder and the AED Locator app. But the thing about our competitors is, although they still have the same goals as us, they lack the functionality of our product because our product is both an application and a device. So we have two different ways to save the person because one, they are being reached by a CPR certified medical assistant, and two, they are also getting an AED to them within the 8 minutes that an ambulance takes to arrive. And these other like companies just don't have both of those aspects.
Okay, awesome. I didn't really think there were many competitors, but that's really cool. Okay. Any other questions? If not, we'll keep on rolling. Fantastic. All right, you're muted. Was that Jill?
Oh, yeah. So next up, we have The Guardian from Ray Kushner Yeshiva High School. And then up on deck, we have Security Key.
You can see the screen, right?
Yep, we're just going to give our judges a quick 15 seconds to wrap up, and then we can get started. Okay, you guys can get started.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ariel Hammerman.
I'm Liav Merlin.
And I'm Alexis Sonnen.
And we're presenting The Guardian to bring Alzheimer's dementia patients and their caregivers the time peace of mind.
5.8 million people in the United States suffered from Alzheimer's dementia in 2020. This is nearly 2% of the population. That means that if 100 people were in a room right now, 2 of them would have Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's caregivers experience more stress than any other professional caregivers, and patients lose their independence. In fact, 1 in 4 adults are caring for their children and parents at the same time. Additionally, 72% of people feel relieved when their family member with Alzheimer's dies because of the high stress they endure when caring for them. No one should ever have to feel that way. In 2018, caring for Alzheimer's patients cost the United States $277 billion, and it is expected to rise to $1.1 trillion in 2050.
The Guardian's applications assist the patient and the caregiver by addressing 4 categories: the patient's independence, their cognitive needs, their safety, and the caregiver's stress. See the slides for a detailed video walkthrough of our watch face. The Guardian enables independence through countless functions, such as this name photo application. This helps the patient get out of an awkward situation where they don't remember someone's name. The patient switches through photos on the watch and reads the names of friends and family members. The caregiver can also set customizable alarms and reminders, which gives the patient more independence. The cognitive exercises, such as memory games and meditation videos, help slow the patient's memory loss. The Guardian is equipped with safety features that detect if the patient wanders, falls, or has pulse abnormalities. It then automatically notifies the caregiver, providing the patient's location and the type of emergency. With the purchase of the Guardian, caregivers obtain access to support network with other caregivers, which has been shown to alleviate stress. The Guardian's external features provide ease of use. It is equipped with an accessible big screen, which allows the patient to easily see and navigate the watch face. There's also a magnetic clasp to ensure the patient does not lose the watch. And each watch band is encrypted with the patient's personalized medical information, just in case of emergency.
The 5.8 million Alzheimer's patients are our target customers, but we plan to sell through other outlets as well. For example, we sell to living facilities, hospitals, and pharmacies. Our product will also be available on websites featuring accessories. Alzheimer's. The Guardian will be advertised at many communal places loved ones would visit. In addition, we will be educating people about Alzheimer's and our product through get-togethers, such as lunches for elderly patients and their families in assisted living facilities. We also have our own website that describes the Guardian in depth and is user-friendly. You can see screenshots displayed on the slides. On our website, the buyer can buy the product, learn more information about the Guardian, leave reviews, and use. At first, it appears that this is a crowded market, but in reality, all the other products offer limited functionalities. The Guardian is the only product that offers name and photo functionality, memory games, and a support network that connects these caregivers. None of the other brands even come close to our technology or our functions.
As the market and the sales of our product increase, our high overhead costs will slowly decrease. The retail price for the Guardian is $250. We have divided our main costs into 2 sections: shipping and manufacturing, and sales and marketing. Initially, we plan to spend 35% of our revenue on manufacturing and shipping. The Guardian costs $30 for the components per unit. Next, we will spend 30% of our revenue on sales and marketing, and this number will increase as our manufacturing and shipping costs decrease. We will use this money for advertising on social media, in drugstores and pharmacies, and assisted living homes. We will hire a marketing team to publicize the Guardian. But in the end, we will still have a 35% profit margin, meaning we will have an $88 profit for each watch sold.
With the worldwide rapid growth of Alzheimer's dementia, wouldn't it give us comfort to know our loved ones are being supported? Wouldn't we all be happier with time, peace of mind? Get the Guardian.
All right, that was awesome. My mom is one of the people that this could really help. So it really hit home. It's great. where are you in terms of actually building this out? Do you have anything that is a prototype, and can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, I built and coded a prototype of the watch face, and you can see it, sorry, right here. And if you click on these buttons, like you can go to like the heart rate and you could see a heart rate and things like that. And obviously when this is on a real person, it will have a real heart rate. This is just so you could see what it actually does. And yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Other judges?
I have a quick question. So do you have anything associated with this that makes it hard to take off for the patient? Because that is a problem with Alzheimer's patients, or an alert to whomever needs to be alerted that they've removed it?
Yes, actually we do. On the watch band for the watch, there's going to be like a metal thing that in order to take it off, you need to use a certain magnet, which means that only the caregiver or a family member can take it off. Because I know people with Alzheimer's don't like, if they like want to take it off and then the caregiver doesn't know, it's just not going to be good. So we have something that makes sure that the caregiver is notified.
Excellent.
All right, anybody else? Questions? No, we're good. It's obviously a very practical thing that's well needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. You're addressing a very prevalent problem. So,
All right, let's take it on to the next presentation, which is the last. Is that right? Wow.
yeah. So our last presentation of the night is going to be Security Key, and they are also from Ray Kushner Yeshiva High School.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Weotter.
And I'm Azaria Foger, and we are Security Key. Our mission is to introduce an innovative and cost-effective way to provide safety and convenience and security.
In the US, religious institutions are among the most targeted buildings in the world. Attacks on places of worship have risen nearly 35% in recent years. Due to the threat, these buildings require entrances to be locked at all times, with security guards costing tens of thousands of dollars. In addition, people get locked outside the building and lose valuable time.
For example, our religious school has 7 entrances and 4 security guards on duty at all times. But with Security Key, the school only needs 1 guard at just the main entrance.
The threat to religious institutions has skyrocketed in recent years. This is a worldwide issue affecting over 90 countries with estimations of 11,000 attacks. Additionally, many of these attacks occur in third world countries that lack the money to spend on security guards.
Attacks on education not only kill or injure students and teachers, they also impact communities for years. With buildings and materials destroyed and students and teachers living in fear, schools and universities close and some students never resume their education. Security Key's solution is an automated security system that uses fingerprint technology to keep unwanted people out and let members of the community in.
Security Key will appear in a box by each entrance and will have holes for the screen, LED lights, and fingerprint scanner. The screen and lights are used to help the user recognize if his fingerprint was accepted by the system. This product includes a solenoid lock, which acts as a deadbolt. This will unlock the door every single time the fingerprint scanner detects a match.
Security Key is an easy option to keep religious institutions safe with fewer security guards.
The most common but time-consuming way to take attendance is for teachers to call out each student's name. We combine our automated security system with a solution to this issue. Every time a fingerprint is scanned, its corresponding name is sent to an office member on an easily accessible website with the time and date they've come.
You may be thinking, attendance is a small issue that only really applies to schools. Who cares? Security Key actually makes our product ideal for everyone by offering 3 options to tailor our product to the buyer's needs. You can get the combined product offering convenience in both security and attendance, or the product can be purchased with security-only scanners or attendance-only scanners. The manufacturing is $60 for Security Key for a single door. We will sell our product for $175 per door, earning nearly 200% profit. We will eventually partner with technology and security stores to carry Security Keys so we can manufacture it in bulk, popularizing our product and decreasing costs.
If the customer requires installation, we will charge $100 per door for the first 5 doors. Every additional door beyond 5 will cost $25 for installation, providing options for customers with buildings of all different sizes. There are 2 main competitors, Acatech and FaceKey. However, the price differential is significant, with Acatech's price being almost 7 times more than ours. Additionally, we will differentiate ourselves with our combined attendance system. And even though these companies exist, they haven't absorbed large amounts of the market yet.
Because of the obvious increased risk, we primarily target religious schools and houses of worship. However, security key would be great for all schools, expanding into public schools, non-religious private schools, and even colleges. Our product will be especially helpful to public schools in areas with high crime rates and lower funding.
We plan to sell our product primarily through our website and meetings to schools individually. However, it will also be available in tech stores and other tech websites.
Our unfair advantages come in marketing. First, being that the community of Jewish day schools and synagogues in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut is a close-knit community. The relationships are so strong, we believe we could reach out to these schools and synagogues and have them implement our product. We could distribute security key around the Jewish day school and synagogue communities at a reduced price to get our product off the ground and make sure it is flawless before we expand it into schools around the world.
As average American high school students, we have the vast knowledge of social media that other older business owners might not have. We can use this to our advantage for advertising. When students and parents see the effectiveness and simplicity of our product, as well as the amount of technology it uses, they may push their faculty to implement it into their own schools. Security key is endless future growth. It can be used in many additional ways. Plane tickets, concert tickets, and season tickets for sporting events can be completely replaced with our product. This would save time and money when it comes to printing paper, as well as keeping the environment healthier. There is no limit to our future in security key.
Great job. So, quick question that I had. You mentioned that one of your target markets would be schools located in areas with high crime rates. Usually those areas are associated with lower funding for those schools. So how do you plan to market your product to those areas in a way that's productive for both parties?
Well, our product is actually so much cheaper than the competitors, as you saw. I think one of the competitors we mentioned, their price is 7 times ours. So, and obviously eliminates a lot of security guards. So it already makes, the price a lot cheaper. But as soon as we have, a business built and we, have enough money to, we could eventually, give reduced prices to those schools.
So I have a question and a comment. First, my comment is this seems so simple and so basic. It's a wonderful idea. I'm stunned that there aren't more competitors, and God bless you if you found a place where there's a niche that you're filling, which is great. And my other comment would be, and this might sound odd and counterintuitive, but I experienced this for a startup that I worked with. When your price is so much cheaper than the competitor, it actually might make some people think it's not nearly as good as a competitor. They won't think this is a good value. You're going to think, oh, this is cheap compared to that. You might actually have better ability to sell it for $400 instead of $200. People, there'll be a perceived value. But I think this product is fabulous. I love the attendance key part of it, which in the case of an episode, it would be great to know who actually was in school and who wasn't on that day. I think there's just a lot of really good stuff here. So great job.
Thank you.
Hey there, my question is, do you have any sort of prototype? And if so, like, how long does it take for someone to get into the building? Like, what if there were like 10 people in line, for example? How long would it take to process all 10?
We do have a prototype, as you saw in the video on one of the early slides, but I'm actually going to pass this to Rebecca about how long it takes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right. So as Azari was saying in the video, it shows a demonstration, and it approximately takes around like 1 second to scan your finger. So it should be fairly quick, even if there's a line of 10 people, around literally 10 seconds to get into the building. And with the solenoid lock that we're using, every single time the finger gets removed from the system, the door will automatically lock. So it ensures that no other people are getting into the building. And as soon as the light flashes green, you're able to go in, and it's super quick and super effective.
Great. Other questions? All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Security Key. And the judges have a really hard job now, I have to say. There's so many great presentations here. Ashi, do you have something to say before we go to the judging break?
Yeah, I do really quick. First of all, those were all so amazing. Like Joe and I said earlier on, we're always blown away by all of your great ideas. And I feel like every year they just keep getting better and better. So we were really excited to see all of these today. Before we do go off onto our judging break, is Ria here? Ria from Plate of Hope?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Ria. So unfortunately, Ria was not able to turn her materials in on time, but we do want to give her a chance to just quickly present her idea because we think it's a great cause and it's supporting a good initiative within the community. So while the judges and I go do our little judging break, you can listen to Ria and she's going to tell you about Plate of Hope.
Awesome. Ed, do you want to try to do a breakout room or should we just do it over chat? Sorry, everyone.
Let's try breakout room if possible.
Ed, can you handle that? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
All right. So can I start?
Please do.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for letting me present. So my name is Ria. I'm presenting my business, Plate of Hope. So around last year, when COVID struck, we all know how difficult it was for our community, and it was really a time for everyone to come together and support each other, especially during the very difficult time when people were losing jobs and unable to supply food to their own families. And around this time, I also began working with food pantries and soup kitchens to raise funds to supply food to these people who needed it. And doing this, I was able to raise more than $10,000, 100%, which was donated to supporting the community. But while I was doing this, I actually noticed a very big problem. And this was that a lot of these food pantries and soup kitchens were actually unable to connect with the community and connect with donors within the community and express their needs and gather support. And at the same time, and it's kind of ironic, a lot of the people within our community who are looking to support their community didn't really know how to do it or where to go to do it. So basically, the main problem is there's no easy and accessible way to connect food pantries to the donors, and there's no easy way for supporters to know how can they help these food pantries and what kinds of things they need to do to help. So that's how I came up with my platform, Plate of Hope. So Plate of Hope is basically a digital platform which makes it easy to connect food pantries and soup kitchens to their donors. And how it works is food pantries and soup kitchens will be able to post a need onto the platform. And from there, donors will be able to look at the needs and fill a plate, which basically means to support one of the needs posted by the food pantry. And this way, it's almost like a meeting area and it connects food pantries to the donors and supporters. And some things I'm looking to plan for the future is have individuals post their needs, as well as connecting local grocery stores. So for example, ShopRite and Safeway, or whatever the local grocery store is, to the area of the food pantry onto the platform directly. So the competition would obviously food pantry, or people can individually connect with the food pantries and food banks. But the problem with this is that this means that food pantries and soup kitchens won't really be able to have a global outreach. But through Plate of Hope, and actually one of the major advantages, I think, is that Plate of Hope actually enables food pantries to have a more global outreach. So for example, if someone from California sees one of the most urgent needs posted by a food pantry in Parsippany, they'll be able to support that food pantry directly from their home in California, which means that food pantries will have a more stronger and even more support. And we're even looking to expand possibly internationally as well. So let's talk about some of the underlying magic and what makes Plate of Hope special. So of course is the proprietary algorithms, which are to connect food pantries to donors and suppliers and vendors all in one platform. Plate of Hope was also launched underneath my 501c3 nonprofit organization, Purple Paint. And Purple Paint has actually been working within the past few years in supporting various causes. So for example, supporting children with special needs and supporting girls' rights to education. So because of working on all of these things, Propane has built up a pretty good, strong goodwill within the community, which means there's a lot of good connections which will not only benefit Plate of Hope, but also the food pantries which register on the platform. So as for our marketing plan, Plate of Hope is a digital platform, so it relies heavily on digital platforms like social media, such as Instagram and Facebook, as well as search engines like Yahoo, Microsoft, and Google. So that means that we're going to be focusing a lot on digital advertisement, and as well as print media, so maybe printing ads in local newspapers and magazines. As for our financial plan, since this is a digital platform, our two major revenue streams are digital content delivery and affiliate fees. And then our cost structure consists of professional services. So for example, technology, sales, and marketing, as well as a customer acquisition fee and a technology cost since it is a digital platform. So real quick, our initial setup cost, we cover a lot of legal and attorney fees, as well as technology setup fees. And then we're also focusing on the first few months of work capital. So that leaves us with about $50K for our initial setup cost. As for our ownership and investors, I'm planning on bootstrapping a lot of the, so $20K is going to be me bootstrapping, and then remaining $30K, I'm looking for outside investors. So for our financial plan for our cost for the first year, there's a lot going on this slide, but I'm focusing mainly on the red circles. So there will be two owners. I'm actually looking for a second owner partner, but I'm expecting the owners to work pro bono. So that's why there's just kind of a $1 there symbolically. But we will be working through independent contractors. So that is going to be mostly technology, sales, marketing in that area. And we're going to be hiring through platforms such as Upwork and Freelancer. So that's why we're focusing on a lower cost as well. So for year one, that leaves us with a total of around $120K. And then looking at year 2 and 3 real quick, that leaves us with around $140K and then $160K for year 3. So that now we talked a lot about how much money we're going to need, but let's talk about how we're going to make money. So our two major revenue streams, as I said before, are affiliation-based revenue and ad-based revenue, so digital platforms. So a lot of the revenue is going to come from traffic sales and ad-based. So that's projecting about $200K within the first year. And then within the second year, around $600K, and that's expecting a 100% growth, hoping for 100% growth, and that would leave us with around the third year, hoping to reach 1 million. And then last, I have fixed assets, and we don't have any fixed assets since this is a digital platform, but I just wanted the slide here for completion. So I said a lot of numbers there, a lot of big numbers, but is all of that doable? So here we have our target audience and market size. So I got all these numbers from census.gov and gallup.com, but looking at our target audience, which is people within the age range of 30 to 60, as well as adults who are looking to support their community, but also have a disposable income, which means they're basically ready to give money and they're able to. That leaves us with about 100 million people targeted, but that's a lot of people, and not all of these people may actually be willing to make a donation. So for people who are actually willing to make a donation, that leaves us with about 73 million people. And even if only 1% of these people actually make a donation, if we get a donation of $100 per person, that leaves us with about $73 million. And even if we get 1/10% of this, we still are over 70 million in revenue. So for our profit margin in total, for year one, we're looking at 30K. For year two, we're looking at 260K. And year three, we're looking at 740K. But I would like to direct everyone's attention to the text on the bottom of the slide. So it's really important to remember that 100% of our profit is donated to supporting our community. And that means supporting local food pantries and soup kitchens, and in the end, supporting the people within our community who are depending on these food pantries. And although this is mostly a nonprofit, I strongly believe that even a nonprofit can be run as a business. And that's really how we could make a difference running a charity as a strong business. So real quick, I'm gonna go on to our website. So plateofhope.org is a functioning website. If you go on there, you can scroll down, you can see the needs posted by food pantries. So if you click on the need, you'll be able to look at exactly what the food pantry needs. And all of this is directly posted by the food pantry. So there's no filter, it's exactly what they need. So this way donors are going to get like the correct information, and food pantries will be able to express exactly what they're looking for. And if you click fill this plate, that basically means to make the donation, and people within the community can make an account and then fill the plate that way. And there's still some cleanup necessary on this website, but other than that, it is functioning. So thank you very much. And I know there's a lot of work we have to do in order to supporting the community. And I know there's a lot of big investors listening right now. So I'm looking forward to everyone's support, and you could definitely contact me at my email, and please visit my website, purplepaint.org, as well as plateofhope.org. Thank you.
Okay, we're back. We're really, really sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just so hard. The teams were so amazing. There's not much more to say except they were absolutely amazing, and it was so difficult for us to decide. All right, hang on one second. So I'm going to share my screen. Is everybody back?
Yep, we're all good.
Desktop 2. Hang on. Okay, can you guys see my screen again?
Yes.
Okay, so the prizes are as follows. And as I said, it was impossible to pick these. There were so many great participants. So first place is $1,500, second place $1,000, third place $500, and 2 honorable mentions for $250, plus an appearance for the winners on the Passage to Profit radio show. So without further ado, let's announce the winners. Okay, for the honorable mentions, it's Deliver Together and The Guardian. And we loved both of these. And one thing about Deliver Together, if this was an event that was about nonprofit pitches and nonprofit organizations, they would have won. They're amazing. The impact that they've made is already there. Any of the other judges have anything to say about the honorable mentions?
Yeah, definitely Deliver Together. You guys sent us so many amazing materials. I remember the first email we got from you. You guys sent us like 20 links to all the reputable sources that you've been mentioned in and all the amazing work you've done. And that definitely wasn't ignored. Like, we know you guys are doing an amazing job. It's just a pitch competition. We wish we could have given it to you, but it was just the wrong competition. But if you enter something more feasible for nonprofits or actual startups that have already come into fruition, I think definitely would have won.
Yeah, and Elizabeth wants you on the radio show, so that's fantastic. So great job, both Delivered Together and The Guardian totally hit home for me too. So let's keep on going. We'll go to third place. And the third place $500 winner is Weasel. So I thought that the technical capabilities of the team for Weasel was unbelievable. Like, you guys actually built the application, and it's obvious that you put a lot of work into it and it actually works. So I thought it was fantastic. Anybody else have any great comments about Weasel? I thought they were amazing.
Absolutely. And the technical knowledge you guys have is amazing. And the way that you've taken something that would have been so abstract and made it feasible. Really good job.
You guys have a lot of potential, so keep it going. We know you guys come back every year and you guys always have such amazing product demos, and you guys are amazing builders. Just keep up the great work.
Yeah, you totally wowed me. All right, let's go to the next one.
Name.
What's that?
Love the company name.
Awesome. All right, so second place and $1,000 and a spot on the Passage to Profit radio show goes to Security Key. Yes. What a great idea. Totally practical. And actually, Tom mentioned that this is a really good, it has a really good application in getting into the school during the day. More so maybe than at the beginning of the day. Anyway, I think it's totally practical and it's totally needed. So way to go, Security Key. Also, you had the prototype and everything. It was fantastic. Other judges?
It was a great presentation. Way to present, way to know your product. So congratulations.
I also really enjoyed the demo, like when you showed pressing a button or putting your fingerprint on the button and then actually walking into the school. I could really visualize that happening in a real school facility too. So that was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so we're moving on to the grand prize here. And it was impossible, by the way, for us to decide these places. There were so many good entries, but the first place winner is Fetch by Maya. And I mean, it was just amazing. It's like a grassroots thing that people definitely will buy into, because people love their dogs, and like feeding dogs organic, healthy things is something people would pay for. And not only that, she proved it by having customers that are already paying for this. So absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, Fetch by Maya.
And can I say something to Maya? Cause marketing is huge right now, and that means that giving back money to charity. So you are so on the right track with your marketing. Congrats.
Thank you. Great work.
Thank you
This
so
was-
much.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. And like, I know you're like one of the younger contestants too. So it's really fantastic that you won. We're really happy for you.
And you're really an inspiration, Maya. And, you know, we could already see in you that you will be a success story, and also giving back. You're so young and already thinking about giving back from your profit margins. So we just congratulate you. And that's what we like to see here at the Economic Development Corporation. Congratulations.
Really, thank you so much.
Keep up the good work. I remember we were in the PitchNJ, what do you call it? We were doing our pre-PitchNJ kind of breakout room session where we were learning how to like present and everything. And I remember you came to me, you didn't have any questions, but then you emailed me after and you were like, I have a bunch of questions for you. And I thought you're just such an inspiration for being, first of all, your age, but regardless of your age too, the fact that you've accomplished this much in such a little time is amazing.
Thank you.
All right. It's awesome. So this, and I'll say this about all the presenters, everybody was amazing. It totally, I actually had the honor of writing some college recommendations for some of the pitchers last year. And like, I couldn't find the words to put in these recommendations, because everybody who's presented today is so beyond what the average kid, in my experience, can do at this point. So congratulations to everyone who put their application in and presented. And also I'll say, Jill and Ashi, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for, they did all the hard work. So thank you so much for doing this. And this is like ingrained in New Jersey high school culture now. So it's just, I think it'll just get bigger and bigger, and year by year, we'll do more and more. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, John. This entire thing wouldn't have been possible without any of you, like all the sponsors, John, you too. And I just love having all of the meetings to kind of plan this out. And every year it's so great to see all of that come together.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really love doing this, and we appreciate all of the support that we've gotten from everyone. And we're so glad that we've been able to start something like this with you guys, of course.
Awesome. Well, we pulled it off, right? It's great. So thanks to our, good segue too, thanks to our sponsors, West Morris Capital, Morris County Economic Development Corporation, Passion to Profit, Lakeland, the Fortis Agency, and all the judges as well. It really went well. And given the Zoom nature of this meeting, Ed, you were fantastic. You kept it rolling, and we appreciate everything. So we'll wrap up. So we're doing this again next year, though. So look out for PitchNJ 2022, which will likely happen in February, and definitely get your pitches in, because we're only growing and we're doing this again, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Anybody else have anything to say before we wrap?
I just want to say thank you to all of our finalists, to our judges, to our sponsors. You make the entrepreneur ecosystem work, and thank you to John for your leadership with Morris Tech Meetup. I think we're probably going to have 2 a year at this rate since we've had so much interest. I've already had businesses reach out to me for sponsorship for next year, and we know that the future is bright, your future is bright, and we're in good hands with the next generation coming up. So keep up the good work. All the best to you in school as you finish up this year. And thank you again and congratulations.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, John, for all that you do, your dedication, your commitment to this event. And Ashi and Jill, you guys are just amazing. I also want to thank Megan for always stepping up with the chamber, always standing behind the Economic Development Corporation, and especially standing behind our students in Morris County. So I just want to say this year, it's my second year doing this. This second year has been amazing, even though we've done it virtual. And I really want to thank you guys for your leadership and for standing in to make a difference. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's have one for all the contestants and sponsors and everybody that made this happen.
Thank you all.
All right, it's a wrap. Have a great evening, everyone.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Congratulations.